Back to the podcast. Today we got a few things we got going on. We got a little bit of a schedule on this for the next week. We got some samples that we need to get up, and we also got some books we want to get published. So I got to TD up the books that I have for the clothing designs, because we got a few different clothing designs, but for each design it all comes down to one of these little mixtapes or one of these little books. I created a few of those books. I have to like TD them up. That'll connect to the clothing designs for each different book. So we got a lot of things we're trying to do this week. But that's gonna be the main focus for this week, man. It's just finishing these books, tidying them up, and then putting those getting the sample designs for them, and then publishing those, man. It's a process, man, but it's coming together pretty good. I'm still eating healthy, trying to carve out new recipes and stuff, substituting the old ingredients like baking soda, baking powder, and all the traditional unhealthy shelf stuff with more natural stuff. So I've been doing that too, and it's been a process. I need to get into gaming more too, to those old games, because the games are gonna come out more like some sort of Street Fighter or like Tekken and NBA Street, like old games like that. I haven't been able to take the time to really get into those games, but hey man, I'll go ahead and crack some heads in NBA Street. Other than that, that's what I've been getting into. I gotta get back on my creative side though. For me, it'd be the creative side that be fueling everything else that I do. So gotta find a way to kind of get back into that space. For me, the biggest transition, especially when you're making a transition from one environment to the next, is finding the middle ground. It's finding and challenge myself there. Or if somebody just has trouble like trying to transition from one environment to the next, yeah, just try to find a different outlet that can help you to still express that work. Because as an athlete, when we transition from being a basketball player or a football player or whatever, and we transition to get into the entrepreneur world, now we're in a whole different set of preparation. So it's like you have to do different things to prepare yourself for the main event. So it's like, how do we make sure that we're expressing ourselves and finding those right outlets to be able to do that? So that's one of the important things. And me, it's an important thing for me. And doing that is what I have to make sure I keep reminding myself, is to make sure I see the end goal and a long-term vision. Because that's what gives me the navigation to be able to position myself right in the things that I'm doing. Without a long-term vision and proper education, you can't properly position yourself. So just keeping my mind educated, and keeping it as sharp as I can, and trying to stick to the main tasks, trying to stick to the main causes, right? Like the main things that spark me, like the video games and the old video games, to publish those, the cartoons, which sparks the creativity for the books, right? So it's just keeping my mind sharp with these things right here. That's what's gonna help me to transition the most, and of course keeping that fire kindled. So yeah, it's been a process. I'm trying to get myself right. It's a matter of staying organized too. Like, I had to keep myself organized from what I'm journaling from the books to the clothing to the video games. So I had to keep all that stuff organized, be able to set that aside and transition to something else. Yeah, I had to organize that, and I got to organize back from basketball and be able to work out, keep myself on that, on that basketball vision as well. That comes natural though. That's something that comes naturally. It's a matter of, making sure I'm looking at all these things, and then I'm looking at education as well, keeping an eye on what's going on around me in the Black community, because we're definitely getting new information and new different types of things. I'm gonna make sure that I'm educated, as well as trying to see what's going on over in Africa as well. People are starting to get more educated there too. So I have to keep my mind conscious. I can't afford to let my mind be contracted. I can't afford to let my mind be contracted, because then it's gonna come with all sorts of problems if I let myself diminish. So that's the process. right now. Yeah, man, it's definitely a process, man. Like, definitely, man, like, hit me up, man. If somebody for the game, man, NBA Street, or got an idea they want on the video game, man, and don't really feel like I'll just throw it in one of these books. Or if somebody got an idea, man, just let me know, man. Shit. But yeah, that's the type of time we on, man. We just gotta try to find these outlets, try to keep myself going. The one thing I can say about getting into the entrepreneurial realm, especially when you get on this battlefront of black art and promoting it the conscious way, it comes with so much, man. I feel like it's the biggest battlefront that you could be on. Black conscious culture, and trying to promote the art in a positive way and in the way that promotes black consciousness. This is what I believe the biggest battlefront is. This is a struggle to try to dig up all of the weeds that's in this front right here, because you have to remain conscious. And shoot, man, it comes with a lot, man. We just gotta stay focused and stay grounded, just making sure that we stay connected as we go about this. That's the biggest thing, is to remain connected. But once I have it properly organized and constructed in a way that I can sort of section things, we'll be on to something. At the same time, I had to get used to all the outlets, because I'm still not used to promoting things like that. Once you have all of the content, you know what I'm saying? Once you have everything set and constructed and organized, it's like, how do I promote that into Instagram or YouTube? I have to cater it to the outlets. But this has its own, it has a construct of its own, like in terms of it being the video game, the books, the comics, the stories. These designs themselves have their own mixtape to them. They have their own story to them. They have their own books to them. They have their own video games to them. They might even eventually have their own music to them. So it's a matter of taking these designs and everything that comes with them and organizing them in that way, then maneuvering them into Instagram, YouTube, and all these other types of fields. That's what we're working on, man. We just set a little bit of time to do that, and then go back and focus on everything else, and shoot, pretty much we be good. Make sure that y'all, man, taking care of yourselves, man, and keep going to what you're doing. When you have a vision like this, it gets hard to really compound and be able to build this body of work, because there's so many mental things that you go through. But it's like, I have to keep myself in a position to where I'm looking past myself, because this is bigger than myself. I have to look to the long-term vision. I have to look to my community. I have to look to who this is for, because this is for something much bigger than me. So therefore, anything that happens to me, or whatever the mental battles that I go through, is not the center point of this, and it's not even important. I have to stay connected to something, and this is how I go about doing it. When we talk about making progress, we have to be able to put the work in and do what we need to do. We have to change the black film and the black art. You have to start promoting this stuff in a proper, positive way, because if we don't do that, what are our kids going to be influenced by? Where can our kids go back to? You know, where can the community, where can people go back to? Like, where can we as a people go back to if the culture and the art that we're promoting, or that's getting promoted, doesn't properly represent us in a conscious way? So that's my thing. Like, I have to be able to build this body of work and set this straight, so that people, or us as black people, can go, we can have a place to go to that really covers all bases of our minds. We can just go and play the game, and the game is us. It's a place that we can relieve ourselves from all the stuff, right? In a conscious, you know what I'm saying, in our way. So that's the whole purpose of this. And it comes with fire, man. It comes with fire. My thing is, if you're an athlete and you're trying to make a transition to making a career for yourself, is to be properly educated. This way, with whatever skill set you have, you can properly position yourself and properly angle yourself to be most effective with that gift. That's my thing. But yeah, man, this is me. This is my battlefront, I guess, and this is just my life, or my this is my building right here. This is my construction. It's getting on this battlefront right here of art and promoting this in a positive, conscious way, and building that place where Black people can go to in all these different outlets that have just become the outlets that we use. You know what I'm saying? You can come there, you can get educated, you can become more conscious, or you could just be, man. Like, what happened to the old games like NBA Street, man? I miss playing the games like NBA Street. And I've realized now, as I went through a lot of my trials, that this spark of creativity is what's needed for us to be able to think in a more roundabout, concise way. Art and creativity is the biggest weapon, I think, in the world. Because with art and creativity comes strategy that people can't see, visions that people can't see, and solutions that people can't see. And that can be carried out with enthusiasm and energy because of a desire and a curiosity to want to see that thing manifest. There's nothing more powerful than that. I'm starting to realize that, and that's how I got through so many of the trials and tribulations and ridiculous stuff that I've been through. My own sense of creativity and rhythm that got me through. So that's the whole purpose of this art, is to connect us as a people back to our natural sense of rhythm and creativity, because that is what will spark the energy that will be able for us to rise above everything else. On that note, man, I'm gonna let that breathe. I'm gonna conclude this podcast right here. This is just a little update on everything that I'm doing. I mean, shoot, maybe this is helping somebody. I'm gonna keep dropping knowledge. You know, my podcast might go up sporadically, but I don't know yet. So yeah, y'all, I'm gonna conclude this podcast right here. This is just it, man. This is what I got going on. So I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.